In the last video, I created this out of a lot of things: the anchor, the coral reefs, basic different layers lying here and there, and the ocean. It was a tough one, but I'm glad that you're back for the second episode of this video, which I am creating the rest of the design like I promised. So let's get into it before my back breaks, because I've never taken a break since the first video. After the first video, I jumped straight into making this video right here. So please do well to leave a like. One like equals one massage for my back. How many likes I get determines how many massage I get for my back, because man, it's broken. See you in the next slide. So right now I'm going to be resuming for the rest of the video. So the next step will be to add chains here and then the shape. Remember, we have a blueprint that we are working on, which is this. So we have our anchor, we have the seafloor. Now it's to add chains and the shape. And we also have a water surface over here. And then onto this, I will be changing the blend mode. Instead of getting rid of the whole black background, I think of changing the blend mode, but then doing that, I noticed that it's not going to really work well. So I will still have to go through the long route of getting rid of the whole black background, which of course is not as simple as it is. But then thank God for Photoshop, there is the color range. Select this, take the fuzziness up, see what it does, then gradually bring it down to I get all parts of the chain in black. So I think this, oh no, that's not good. I think so far this is the closest I could get. I don't know if it could be cleaner if I go, it's not getting as clean anymore. I think this is fine. Let's see. Okay, so far the chain is well handled, although I will have to do something about this area. So I'll be adding some selection myself. So first of all, invert this selection. I'll add, oh no, I think I would rather use this method to add selections, because obviously the quick selection tool decided to just add everything in this circle. So this is good. When I'm done, I'll be back. I have taken a lot of shortcuts to come here today. So yeah. So more of this going out, this going in, this going out, this going in. I think I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. So I'll be done with the rest of this in a short while.
2,000 years later.
That will be the last one of it. Also, right now, this is the chain I'll be using for this whole design. So select and mask and make sure I have everything needed. For this whole select and mask area, I want it to be something hard but a little bit tight, so not much feathers, more contrast, because this is a chain, right? So it has to have really strong edges, and I don't need layer mask on this, so I'm definitely just going to make it new layer and then click on OK. But then as you can see, it's still large. So then the next is to separate it from the rest of the selection, then get rid of this, convert this to a smart object, and start working with this one. Of course, it's not exactly the same color blend with the anchor, but seeing that it has this rough texture, the metallic rough texture on it, that won't be a big problem. So definitely it's just going to be a small issue. The main thing is to blend this into the design. So change the perspective a little so that the down will be thick, bigger, right? While the top will be smaller, if that makes sense. So something like this will be fine. So down here is tinier. And then of course we have the brush to clear up some things. So first with the layer mask and the brush, I will start cleaning up this area. So far we have this, and I like how it is turning out. And the rest of the chain, I want the chain to be somewhere around the same point we have this. So I need a little extra here, and this is already much, so it's already gone a long way. So having that little extra will just push it even further. But of course this chain shouldn't be too huge, so I'm looking at something this size, a little bit smaller. This is okay. So blend it in, of course. I think this is fine. So we have our chain way up there. I just need to fix this area, which I think is better to fix it here. And yeah, I noticed a trend. These chains got shorter over here. So I think I will do the same for these ones. Let them get shorter so that it fits in perfect. Yeah, I think this is good. I remember that meme that says, "This is clean. This is clean. This is what I mean." So this is clean. This is what I mean. All right. So we have a chain, but then something has to be done about this chain. It is not the right color. Convert this to smart object first of all, and then start giving it the right color. First, I would like to use the color balance to bluish it, if that is the right word. And then for the hue and saturation, I will be still working on the colors here. This time around, tone down the saturation, make it a little bit darker, and work on the color. So we have something that is somehow heading towards the blue area. So we have this, then less saturated. As you can see, it blends in even better now. It feels like it's part of this metal, although the sharpness of this one is different from this, but then also this metal is different from this. So yeah, we could forgive that, right? We could, please forgive it. Then on to the shape, the most important part of this whole thing, the second most important part actually, because the anchor is very important in this design, then the shape being the second most important part. And would you see that, see where this line ended, see where so we have the shape somewhere around here. So far, this is this design as it is for now. Are the text and the whole everything fighting for attention? Maybe. But will that be fixed? Of course. So first of all, I will, of course, separating it from the rest of the background. Okay, I have selected these, but oh god, these rails, I will need to do everything individually. It's going to take a bunch of hellish time. Who sent me into this? I just lost the selection. I thought I lost the selection. Man, this is going to a ton. Please still be leaving a like for the videos because I can't do like. I think I'll leave the rest that way. I'll leave the rest. Please, let's just leave it this way. So right now I've selected the boat or the ship, and now that we have our selection, I will be resizing, and on a second thought, I just think like this is even too highly angled. It's not really mobile. Let me see. Place it behind, not behind. Chain way around. Then to actually make it give me that perspective angle, I will be turning the perspective. Oh no, so something like this, so that it kind of bends. You see, something like this is better. This is where the anchor of the ship up here. So we have that in place, and the tricky part is to get a surface, to get to the surface of the water. So I thought of something where I can create some sort of a link, a part where the boat touches the water. So there will have to be a trace here, and I got some images for that, or an image actually for that. So using this image I found, I figured I could do something of such nature, but I wouldn't want the ripple to be too bright like here. So I will take this even wider, take it up a little. I will have to draw markers. This is somewhere I might want my base to begin. Let me turn that off first. So I want my base to begin somewhere around here and run a circle around this part. You know, some part of the sea, the boat has to be submerged in water. So around this whole area is fine. I took a short break to have a meal. So I am back, and this is where we stopped. So I will be making a random shape around here, which I will use to cut out the rest of the shape. So this will be where I'll be cutting out from. Oh, I forgot to add something where the circle will end. I think I should just work with this image first. So I will be making a cutout. Where is that too? All right. I'm making a cutout, and we'll start from doing something like this, which I will later on turn to a circle. It's trying to snap on. I think it's better snaps on over here and gradually comes out to this point. So this whole area will be submerged water. We have something coming out from around here and meeting this area. So this of course is going to be our area. Sorry about that. Yeah, so this is the area submerged underwater, and if I figured out that if I turn down the opacity of this, you'll see what it looks like. So above the water, under the water, and then I will also go ahead to clean off the rest of below the water. However, I would also like that this top area is really showing well. Something like this. I would like these ripples to show more. So instead of making it harder to see, I will use a soft brush to brush out more areas, a transparent brush to brush out more areas of the ship. So with that, I will select the whole ship, go to this area, and with the brush and the flow very low, I will start brushing the rest of the ship out. So something like this does not look bad. Then I will make sure I blend in the rest very well. So now this is basically the rest of the water part, but then I need to refine some areas. And let's just so then this is the result of what we have here, the ocean floor or the ocean top and or surface. And then this, I would want to also make this ripple reach to this point. So something like this will be fine. That means I'll be moving this down a little bit to something like this. So as you can see now, the ripple keeps going up to this whole area, and above it you can see the boat. Also, I would make this area a little bit rough because it's not looking realistic if this is actually water and this is a ship. So some roughness here and there to just make it more realistic. This place neater. So this amount of roughness we actually make it look even better. So now we're looking at it, it looks more realistic, like a ship and being supported by an anchor. And onto the final part of the design, I want to kind of make the focus of the shot be here. So most of these areas will be blurred out. So obviously here will be where the blur will be. This place will be in focus. Also take this a little bit higher. So now we have our image. This is it without the blur, and this is it with the blur. Just subtle but effective. Perfect. What next? The water ripples, the ship, the anchor, some fishes. I said maybe, so I don't owe anybody anything.
Don't look at me like I owe you anything.
These two will be white. So let's make that white. And they are going to have a drop shadow as well. For this one, the drop shadow will be a little bit different from the other one. So I'll make them differently. This one will not be too far off and will not be that large peak. So we have this, a trilogy. And then for this, I will also make it. Alright, now that looks okay. On to the next. I think it's not so distinct, so I will add even more drop shadow to it to make it even more distinct. I'll simply increase the size, reduce the spread so it doesn't look too much. I think that will do. So we have this now. Then on to the anchor. So this now is white, and as you can see, it's making more sense right now over here. I can then decide to even add more effect to this. I can decide to add an outer glow, reduce the opacity and the size for it not to shine too much, but for it to be distinct enough, and also a drop shadow between the outer glow and the text itself, so that I can separate the white of the text from the glow itself that is trying to separate everything from the object, if that makes any sense. So we have something like this. So for this area, I will go to the uttermost or highest layer of this design, and I'll add an exposure adjustment layer. This is where I'll choose how bright it can be. Offset I would like to give it, I like this offset than this, so it will have a little bit of contrast, and then invert that and start painting down. So down this way and down that way, so the light shines down on this. But I'm not going to make this too obvious, so I'm going to blend it out a little with a low flow. Blend it out here as well. Blend this area in, blend this area in. So here basically looks much brighter than the rest. And then I'll convert this text to smart object and warp it to make it have some curve. If you don't understand what I mean, I want to get this same effect I got in these woods here. So that's a pattern in the book, and I would want to maintain that pattern. This of course will be a straight line. To give me better direction, I need to make sure that both have the same base are up at the same center. And there we have it. Our anchor book cover design is done. But wait, before you go, I actually observed some things. It was hard to see the text, the sex for grades, and all that. It was just hard to see them. So I also found that it was also hard to see the name of the author and the series of the book. So while looking at those things, I figured it would be better to make this few adjustments to it, and this was the end of the design. I just moved down the sex for grades part lower and added a white stroke to the titles above. So what do you think about this design? Is it awesome, and would you want to get inspiration from this kind of work? I would like to know in the comment section. If you like the video, please do well to like the video and subscribe if you've not subscribed, and I will see you in the next one. New series is coming up in January. I'm so excited about it, so see you there. Goodbye.